I'm super awkward. So
good. Ready. This is going to be really fun for you. Okay.
Welcome to Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. I'm your host today, Pat Tarnowski, Patrick, for if we want to be like super fancy. I am in Cities Never Sleep. And also, this is Unsigned Pop Punk. With me always, Bear Pulley.
That's me. I'm Bear. I'm the vocalist and sometimes guitar player for Of Brighter Skies. And with us today, we have Faith Alvarez. I hope I pronounced that, Faith. Don't talk. Oh, gosh. No, she's the, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the lead vocalist for the band Pennyboard. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is sick. Guys, if you haven't checked out Faith Alvarez on TikTok, go ahead and give us your handle real quick.
So it's just Faith Alicia. So it's Faith, Alesa.
There we go. That'll work. Guys, she does some amazing vocal covers. They're, I don't know, man, they're next tier level, and I love it. Also, Pennyboard is a pretty sick band, so you should go check them out. Faith, thanks for coming to the podcast. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, this has been Where Did All My Friends Go? Podcast. Wouldn't that be funny if that was all just like intros and then intros and endings? That's all it is. That's all.
It's just a quick intro, in introduction to yourself, into who you are, and then we're out.
Yeah. All that said, Faith, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am the vocalist and kind of just like an overall songwriter for Pennyboard. It's a project I started last summer, and I became a solo artist due to some scheduling issues. But
in there.
But yeah, it's just a fun alt pop project. I get grouped in like the pop punk genre a lot, which is pretty fun. Yeah, I have like 2 singles and a cover out, and a lot more on the way. That's
awesome. And those singles are actually pretty fire. Like, they're actually really good.
Thank you.
I mean, and I don't, it sounds weird when I say actually, like, I don't like mean like, oh, wow, you're actually, no, what I mean is like, there's a lot of garbage out there. And it sounds like you took the time, you took the effort, and you put in the work. And that's more than a lot of people out there can say. So I just wanted to like congratulate you on the sound of your band. I really dig it.
Thank you. I'm going to be completely honest. So Please. Summer Days was actually written in literally like one day. Because I was just like, I want to release something. It was originally going to be just posted on Twitter. I didn't really know like if I was going to take this music thing seriously.
Yeah.
And then we wrote it, and we're like, this is kind of sick. I wrote it with my husband, actually, so he helped me.
That's awesome.
And then my producer, Spencer Trinidad, he helped me finish the whole song.
Big round of applause for Spencer Trinidad right here. I'm going to put in thunderous applause. It'll happen. Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to say was like on top of what you had said, how you just wrote the song basically in a day. It's kind of funny how that stuff actually ends up working out. Writing is just, it's interesting, man. I remember, Pat, our song, Way Back When.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Faith, I don't think you know it, but just fine. Like, you don't have to do your homework here. No,
Jeez, so you are intense today,
dude. I am still jazzed on what I'm writing right now. I'm just like through the roof, because like one of the things I'm like, wow, I can't believe I wrote this. Way Back When, I wrote the chorus for Way Back When in, I don't know, a day, right? Not even 15 minutes. And I couldn't figure out how I wanted the rest of the song to go. So I sat on that chorus for 5 years. Like, just 5 years. And then like 5 years later, I sat down with it. I was like, I remember this, just going through my notes on my phone, just like, oh, okay, what can I do? Oh, this is sick. And I wrote the rest of the song in 15 minutes. Like, it's weird how that works. So like, writing is just, man, I don't know. It's incredible, and it's so different because everyone will be like, "Hey, what's your writing process? How did you figure it out?" And you're just like, "I don't really know. I don't know."
Yeah,
For sure.
and I had never done this whole thing before. Like the most experience I had in music was playing violin from like 5th grade to when I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Like I never like actually tried to like write a song or anything like that. I always just had like so many ideas and but I was always too scared to ever pursue music. And so one day I was just like, whatever, I want to do this. Like this makes me happy. I want to do it. And it's been
You still
fun.
have that fear now?
Honestly, yeah, some days are a little scary because now I feel like not that like I'm important or anything as an artist, but I feel like there are some people now that are just like waiting for the next thing, and I don't want to let anyone down.
Right. Yeah, it adds an extra layer of responsibility.
Yeah.
See, when you get to like this point of like self-deprecation, like me and Bear have, you just like go into it assuming you're going to let everybody down, and so like when
it's so much easier.
when you don't, you're like, oh hey, cool, well that's fun.
So like this Summer Days was just like it was such a quick process, and then Emerald Green was also a fairly quick process. But this song that I'm surprised releasing next month, it's like been in the works for like 7 months.
That's
So
awesome.
it's like super different.
Which by the time you guys hear this podcast, that song will already be out. So make sure you go check it out on Spotify, on Apple Music, wherever you can get music, because it's there. And Faith deserves the stream.
Absolutely. A funny story. I actually used to have this project a long time. It was like 2010 maybe. And it was like an electronic type project called Some Like It Hot. And our whole goal was we had to write, like sit down, write and record the entire song in one day. And if we didn't do that, then we scrapped it. If we could, by the end of the day, if we couldn't finish it, it was done.
And honestly, that's like some I don't know what to call it, maybe professional, I don't know if that's the word to use, but like that's some high-end writing techniques. Like it really is. Like there's a lot of people out there who just will just write, and if it's not good enough the first time, they just scrap it. Because there's this saying that I've like kind of developed for myself, and it's something that I adopted from another friend of mine who was in the music industry. It was like, man, I wish I could write songs as good as the last one I wrote, right? And he was like, dude, you got to change your mindset. I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, the best thing you've ever written hasn't been written yet. He's like, your next one is going to be the best one. And then after that, your next one. And it kind of just like rewired my way of thinking about music, because it's like I always like love this song, right? Like Bad Guy or These Hard Times are my favorite songs. But that said, I'm going to push myself harder to write something better. You know what I mean? So getting into those exercises, like writing a song a day or scratching it, or like, I know Alec, our guitarist, was doing an exercise of like producing or tracking, I should say, a song every day. And, even if it might turn out like shit, it still like got him going and got those creative juices flowing. So, right. Dude, kudos to you in that EDM project or electronica project, which if you have any stems, please send my way. I want to hear that.
Oh, it's hard to find. It was like MySpace days. Like
it's still there.
It was recently. I think I have it somewhere. We made some really weird stuff though. It was like, it was like everything was done electronically except, and then we sang on it. We did the super auto tuning.
Yeah.
Stuff. It was like
awesome.
right before that stuff got really cool.
Yeah.
And
right before T-Pain.
Yeah. And we actually started that project because so this was with it was when I was doing Jamestown Story, and this was when so it was with my buddy Kieran, who was in Sing It Loud. So we were just trying to do this weird project, and he had this girlfriend that was a cheerleader. So we were trying to write like their cheerleader song. They needed some song, so we wrote this weird like super pop song for him. Right. We're like, well, this is great. Let's just keep doing this.
Faith, do you have any like crazy like writing stories aside from writing Summer Days in 15 minutes?
Okay, so this next song that's coming out, it's been rewritten like several times. It's just like, I don't know, we were super hyped about the concept of it, and then we just kept writing it. And the guy who wrote it was Sterling Gavinsky. He's an amazing songwriter. He was in the band called The Happy Alright. But we were just like, it's every single time we were like, this is missing something. And every single time we would write together, which would be like once every other week, we were just like, it needs something.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't figure out what. We started listening to like other artists, and they were like, no, because now we feel like we're trying to like be like them, and we don't want to do that. And it was just super like, I don't know. We just kind of like took a break from it for a little bit, and we're like, okay, let's come back to it, because we feel like this could have been something really cool, but we didn't want to like overthink it. And then eventually one day we just sat down, and I was like, I think we're just taking this too seriously. Like, I think we just need to have fun with it. And so I threw out like these little ideas, and in the song you can hear things like, hey, what's your sign? And like stuff like that. And we're like, just like super cheesy little lines. And I was like,
nice.
You know what? As long as we're just having fun with it, I think that's all that matters.
It's really easy to get like lost in that mindset of just, oh, I got to make this next one really good. You know?
Yeah, I also have to remind myself, like, the listeners, like, usually aren't going to sit there and analyze my music. You know what I mean?
No,
they won't until they listen to it at least 10 times. And by the 10th time, you've already got them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, it takes, I can't tell you how many times what in the world? I can't tell you how many times, like, I've listened to a song by, like, let's say The Killers, right? And then the 15th time listening to it, I'm like, oh, that's new. You start to hear a little bit of the nuances. So, you know, adding that, I think, like, I like to call it ear candy. Adding that ear candy is just something that not only adds an extra layer to your song, but it adds a little extra something for people who are invested in your music. And I think that's really, really smart. So speaking on that, you're a musician, a photographer, and very active, and have a good following on TikTok. Let's, you know, what got you started in that scene, in that space?
So I've been a photographer, for a concert photographer specifically, for 5 years now. This year,
Oh, wow.
Nice.
marks 5 years. So it's been a while. I don't know. I've always just been super interested in it. Ever since I was a kid, I've always had a camera with me. And one day I was just like, you know what? I want to learn concert photography. I actually have a twin sister, and she was the one who taught me everything about concert photography. And one day she got like just fed up with like not being able to get approved for photo passes, so she made her own publication. And then eventually she handed the publication off to me. So I run a publication called Urban Vacancy Press. And that has just helped me and so many other people grow as creators. So as far as like writing, interviewing people, photography, videography, all of that good stuff.
Is she an identical twin or just a twin?
Technically, we're fraternal, but we look identical.
Okay, because I wanted to make sure we had the right faith here. Like, just because, okay, low key. So, my older brother is in a band. They're called Archers, and he and I look very, very similar. And I went on tour with them as their driver, and a lot of people would come up to me and think that I was him and just ask me a bunch of questions that like only he would like know, because they think I'm him. And I got so tired of being like, no, that's not me. I'm his little brother. I'm just the driver. But I got really tired of going through the spiel, because it would happen at least 3 or 4 times a show. And we were out there for like a week and a half. Anyway, I just started saying that I was him, because it was just so much easier, and he didn't give a shit. Like, it was so funny. They would come up to me and just like, oh, so how you been? And like, I'd be like, I've been doing good. Just really been focusing on the music and just doing, doing what I do. And it worked. Like, it just worked until one time this person was talking to me. She was like, so it's been forever. I haven't seen you since high school. And I was like, yeah, has it really been that long? Just kind of keeping up, like keeping conversation. And then my older brother walks by to come behind the merch table, which is where I was. And she just looks at him and looks at me. And I look at him and I go, well, I'll let you take it from here. And then I just
Nice. In 2012, I was out on Warped Tour with Plug Your Holes, and I for no good reason, because I don't think this looks similar. I used to have people come up to me when I was younger. I guess I looked more similar to Dan from
Gosh, you got this.
my brain. Do you know what I'm?
No.
No,
You found glory?
no,
No.
my brain
For You
it
Strong?
died. Yes, thank you.
You're
For
welcome.
You Strong. Oh God,
I was just naming off
it
the bands
hurt.
that I'm pretty sure I knew that there was a Dan in.
It hurt so bad. Yeah. So Dan from For You Strong. I used to get people come up to me all the time thinking I was him, and I don't personally see it, but
I've never seen Dan. I'll have to look him up. I'll be like, Dan that looks like Pat. I'll just Google that.
I think the most similar thing is that we're men that have beards. That's about it.
That's all it takes at this point.
But enough people, about like 15 of them.
Yeah. Well, like speaking of 4 Years Strong and Real Friends and all that jazz. Faith, what were the bands or artists that you would say influenced you the most?
Okay, for sure. Chloe Moriando.
Okay.
She's more in like the alt pop world rather than pop punk. I think she just opened up for All Time Low yesterday, actually.
Oh wow,
Which
that's
is
awesome.
super cool.
All right, starting off strong. Got it.
Yeah.
Who else? Really inspired by Pale Waves.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, I love them. They're amazing. Also, Avril Lavigne for sure.
Okay. We have a winner. That those like the first two bands. I didn't know the first one. I knew the second one a little bit, but you said Avril Lavigne, and automatically that's the best one I've heard so far during the podcast. I will throw it down for some Avril Lavigne. Like, dude,
She's
don't get me started.
amazing.
She's
Every
so
single
good.
time, every time I write, because I write with a lot of different producers and songwriters, just because I love collaborating. But every single time they're like, "What kind of like sound are you going for?" And I'm like, "This," but like if Avril Lavigne made it.
There you go. That's all it takes. They're like, I got you. Hit spacebar. Like,
Oh, I see. So what you want is like this style, but to go number one. Okay, I get it. You want a number one hit in this style. Got it.
Gotcha. And you want it on cassette tape in 2007. I can do that.
I'm just so like indecisive. I'm like, do I want to make pop music? Do I want to make punk music? I grew up in like both worlds.
Yeah.
And I can't decide.
Well,
so I'm just gonna
there's
do
a term
both.
for combining them.
Pop punk. Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
But you know what I mean? You know what
No,
I mean?
I know
Like
I get
Pale Waves
exactly
is like
what you mean.
super like,
They're vibey. They're like 80s
Yeah.
synthwave.
yeah.
Which I mean, I have a soft spot for 80s synthwave, like Mr. Wives, freaking Laney, Pale Waves, Small Pools, yeah, all that jazz.
Right on. I've never heard of any of them.
Okay, you got to get on it because Pale Waves has not Pale Waves. It was Mr. Wives featuring somebody, and they did a cover of Yellow, and I can't remember the band that it was featured. It was really good.
Show me things. I like things.
Yeah, dude. Even Martin Johnson from Boys Like Girls, he has a new project that's 80s synthwave, 80s rock. It's called The Night Game, and it's so good. It's stupid good.
Nice.
So yeah, no, I get exactly what you're saying when you're like, I don't know how to combine the two, or I don't know how or what sound I wanted to go for because I have this influence over here and I really like this sound and I like the way this direction is going for the future. Like there's all sorts of things that you have to take into consideration. The one thing that I think you've done really well, Pat's done really well, and I've done like shit, is
Jesus.
is taking those influences and staying true to yourself. That's
Yeah.
what's going to give you that sound. And like there are so many people out there going like wondering what my sound is, how do I find my sound? And it's as simple as do what you love and do it to the best of your ability. And if your ability can only like reach so high, hire someone else who has better ability, and that's where it's going to get you. That's what's going to be your sound. You just got to stay true to you. It doesn't matter if you're veering this way or that way, or, have different influences. As long as you're doing what you love and you're putting your heart and soul into it, you'll get the exact product you're looking for. And it
That's
sounds
like
dumb.
my
but
biggest
it's
thing
true.
too is like I always have to remind myself like I started music just because it makes me happy. Like if it became a career one day, that'd be sick. But like I'm doing this because it makes me happy, and I always have to remind myself like if I'm ever creating something that I'm not happy about, then I just need to like scrap it.
Mhm.
If I'm
Mhm.
ever in a point, like there was a point where I wasn't making covers for a few weeks because I was like, the thought of this stresses me out, so I don't want to do it. So I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'll get to it whenever I feel like it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, I get that. I really do. So with that said about like putting out covers on TikTok and all that stuff, you just recently took the leap into working freelance full time. How did that process go? Walk us through that. And how did that make you feel?
It is terrifying, honestly, because you never know like what's gonna happen. Like everything changes from day to day. Like
The future's so unclear.
you know, like I could have like a video I need to edit one day, and they'll be like, actually, I need to postpone it for like a week.
Mhm.
And then like one day I'll have a client say like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I actually have like all these things that need to get done today. And I'm like, okay, I'll just make it work. I'll figure it out.
Yep.
Let's go with the flow.
Yeah.
But it just honestly, it just took me believing in myself and just like knowing that I could do it, because I had always been so scared. I was like, I'm not going to financially
Absolutely.
make it.
Mhm.
But it's been great. I love it. I'm having fun. It's really cool, like being my own boss.
Mhm.
So
And how has that helped? Like, how has that helped your mental state during COVID? How is that like? Because I mean, you started Pennyboard in the fall of 2020, so like during the height of COVID, your band grew pretty quickly out of that time. Like, how did that like make you feel mentally taking that leap in such an uncertain time?
honestly, it was great. So like I feel like personally I felt like I was in like the lowest point of my life until I switched to freelance. I'm actually still at my job. I'm just part-time. They were willing to work with me to just go in for like a few hours in the morning, which is really nice.
Very
They
cool.
know like this is just a dream of mine, but they
Mhm.
also know I need to make money. So
Isn't that the catch-22?
Always the catch 22.
so I feel like since then I've just been able to like breathe more, if that makes sense. Like I'm able to do things that I want to do.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. That's absolutely awesome. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take a break real quick. We're going to pause. We got a couple messages here for you. They're actually pretty intuitive this time. I know in past episodes, they've been kind of weird. These ones are going to be completely serious. I promise. All right. You are listening to 99.9 FM Classic Rock with the Rock. There's only people who listen to tasteless music. Anyway, we're going to listen to some, we're going to take some callers right about now. See what people want to listen to. Caller number 1, you're on the air.
Hi. I saw that you had on special. I was looking for a medium sausage pizza.
Yeah, this is 99.9 FM Classic Rock. This is we don't have pizza.
I mean, okay. But I really want. Do you have like hot sandwiches?
And next caller. This is 99.9 FM Classic Rock, the rock station that only plays music for tasteless people.
Hi, I heard you have the best vegan pizzas in town. I was wondering if I could just place an order for pickup.
All right, now that's a good question. Fucking no. This has been 99.9 FM Classic Rock, the music station where only people listen to classic rock and tasteless music.
And we're back. Man,
Yeah.
those are something.
Yeah, dude, I thought those were really informative, especially in comparison to last week.
I feel it right in my
Yeah.
right in my heart.
Those
My
are some
heart
good ones.
loins.
Those were some good ones. So again, guys, we have Faith Alvarez with us. She's from a band called Pennyboard. If you haven't listened to them, go listen to them literally right after this podcast. Just wait until we're done with the podcast, because the podcast is a lot more funnier. Okay, I'm done. I'm done talking for the day. That's all
done.
it takes. And you're out of here. All
Okay,
right.
So Faith. So we're going to move on to a new not a new segment, a new segment for you.
The next segment, the one in succession. This is the next one.
The next segment, which is our obscure question segment. So listen, start to finish, and buckle up.
Buckle up.
Okay.
Okay. So as we talked about earlier, you're now a freelance photographer, videographer, and the brains behind Penny Board. If you could have only one dessert for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know.
Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
We said buckle up, and you clearly didn't. Okay, did you not read the signs,
or did you only buckle up like just the bottom
halfway?
half?
Did you like put your arm above where your shoulder, like you know how it's supposed to go over your shoulder? You put your arm over it, so that way it's like kind of like by your stomach or your waist, because that's not safe. Don't do it. So buckle up correctly.
Okay, we'll try again. Okay. I'm literally the most indecisive person. I don't know why I can't like think of something.
Just make a decision right now. Doesn't even have to be dessert. Doesn't even have to be a dessert. Just right now. I thought that would work, to be honest. Carrot cake. Got it. All right.
Carrot cake. Do you
I was
like
gonna say
carrot
I was
cake?
gonna say like frozen yogurt, but I thought you were gonna like make fun
Frozen
of it.
yogurt.
No,
All right.
you can. This is
That's fine.
your
This is
question.
this is your episode.
Bear could say gummy bears, and that's his problem.
I just
had some
that gummy bears today.
Did you? Gummy bears?
I did. They're so good.
I don't think I could have that for the rest of my life, but
No, that's true.
I could probably roll with some froyo.
Frozen yogurt, dude. Yeah, get that like boba on top. That's
I was
where
gonna
it's
say,
at.
would I get the option to be able to like customize it each time?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure, why not?
Absolutely. We're not savages.
Yeah.
All right. What is one of your biggest guilty pleasures?
Listening to cringy MySpace music.
Okay, can you define? Because like
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
there's some doozies out there.
I
but,
love
like,
a lot of that cringy MySpace.
I know a
music.
lot of that's like got some like a place in my heart.
I was
can't
part of
even
that MySpace
remember
music.
like specific names. Okay, for some reason, the first thing that comes to mind. This is not like a good song to listen to at all. That's the thing. Do you remember the Medic Droid?
No,
Like,
No.
for sure, maybe, for sure not.
no.
You basically could get away with anything as long as it's not blood on the dance floor.
It was grouped in with Blood on the Dance Floor. I didn't listen to Blood on the Dance Floor, but it was grouped in with like that and like Jeffree Star and the Millionaires and things like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I never like think to listen to it, but whenever someone turns it on just to be funny, I'm like, this hits.
Just like, oh,
Yeah.
this my shit right here.
Yeah.
That's the ticket. Give me the ticket. Yeah, remember when people were trying to make Hobo Johnson a thing?
Stop it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing right now. I just want a Subaru Crosstrek, dude. I can fucking jam some Hobo Johnson, man. I really enjoy it.
I can't
Like-
get into it.
Thank you. Tasteless. Pat, you're tasteless.
Grow up.
It's not
Jordan.
bad, but I'm over here listening to MySpace music. So
Apparently, I just have really hard opinions on Hobo Johnson.
You have hard opinions on everything, dude.
That's because I'm right, though. Like,
Oh,
no, that's true though. Like, if you had to like sum me up, it's he's got hard opinions on everything. Oh, I know,
You know
that guy.
that-
Is that you know the lead singer from A Brighter Skies? Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
one that has hard opinions on everything.
oh, he's got hard opinions.
On what? on everything.
He's got hard opinions.
It's like a negative political ad.
Yeah.
Stop him from getting in office. He has hard opinions on everything. I'd watch that ad and I'd probably vote for it. All right. What is? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you can do it. You got this.
Are you sure?
Sure, go get it, big
Let's
guy.
go get it. Okay. With trying to balance still working part-time and working freelance gigs and also focusing on penny board, do you feel that a hot dog is a sandwich?
No.
But
No.
why?
Because it's just
Show your
not a
work.
sandwich. It's just not. I will stand by this. Oh my gosh.
So,
I
like,
didn't-
what is a sandwich to you?
Okay,
is it
yeah,
like
if I explain
things in
it, you're
between
gonna
two
be like,
slices of bread?
Is it like putting
yes,
is it like
okay.
putting meat on bread?
yeah, but
Like a
it's
hot
not-
dog?
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Look, I didn't say the flavor profile has to be the same. Like, it's not like I'm going to put ham with mayo on a sandwich and it tastes like a hot dog.
Okay,
I'm
look,
just saying, like, you put a hot dog in between two
No.
slices of bread.
you're wrong.
And I'm the one that has hard opinions on everything.
Faith Alvarez. Poof, hard opinions on hot dogs.
I'm gonna vote for the other guy.
I had an argument with my friend about this for like an hour one day, and we even thought about just starting a whole podcast just about like controversial things.
There already is one.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a hot
It's by
dog.
Mythical Kitchen.
Yeah, it's
my
called
goodness.
a hot dog is a sandwich.
Yeah, which I think since we might be plagiarizing, let's give them a shout out. It's called Hot Dog is a Sandwich by, I think it's the Mythical Kitchen group over at the Rhett and Link area, that kind of thing. So they're actually on Spotify too. So if you just so I don't get sued for legal reasons, I wanted to make sure that I give them credit. So yeah,
But they are fantastic though.
which is funny. They won't even go to that conversation, even though it's called Hot Dog is a Sandwich. They will not talk about it because they are both completely against each other's ideas. Because one thinks it is, one thinks it isn't. I think it is.
I think it's fair.
Like
I could go either way, to be quite honest, because it's like if you're like, well, a hot dog is a sandwich, I'm like, well, I mean, you do it just it's meat on bread, so sure.
I mean, yeah, like it makes sense, but like, come on.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to die on this hill. Yeah,
No.
not for this.
but like at least as long as you can understand both sides of the argument, where it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess you both made an educated decision to get where you are, then we're okay. But if you're just you're like, no, because it's not, then we have a problem.
But why? Because I said so.
Because I said, okay, mom. Mom, if you're listening, I do love you. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I turned out the way I did.
That's really deep, man.
That's real deep. I'm sorry I decided to go into music for some stupid fucking reason. My mom's listening. I shouldn't use the F word. All right, Pat, you want to take us into the next segment, or do we want to go to break?
Is she listening right now?
I don't know, but Mom, if you are listening, nice.
The I'm sorry I went into music thing really hit because I have a degree and I went into music.
That already makes you smarter than me.
Good job.
I have a degree in YouTube University. That's not a thing.
I was like, I stopped because I was like,
You're like, oh, really? What's YouTube? You're kidding.
Are you kidding?
Should we go to break before we go
Let's
to the
go
next
to break.
segment? Okay, we're going to go to break and we'll be right back after these messages. Tired of your paper towels never holding up to the standard? Try vegan paper towels. Here's some testimonials for just a few people who've tried this amazing product and will never look back.
Hi, I'm Jesse, and I was so tired of using regular paper towels because every time I would spill something, I felt bad. I just felt I was sad. I had to call into work the next day. Then I tried vegan paper towels. And you know what? That cleaned the shit out of my house. I'm Jesse. Thanks for listening.
We have one more testimonial.
The first time I ever tried vegan paper towels, I just knew it was going to be life-changing, and I'd never try any other paper towels ever again.
Those testimonials were full of shit. Vegan paper towels. We've gone vegan for some reason. All right, and we're back. Thanks for listening to those messages. Those ones are probably better than the first one you heard.
Oh, probably in so many different variations, even.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna go into our last segment here. It's before we close out the show, we got one more segment for you. This one's a nail biter. If you
you better be buckling in with both sides of the car, like of the seatbelts. Like you got to take one from the passenger side, one from the driver's side. Hook it up in the middle with the weird bucket seat. You know what I'm talking about? You just go boop boop boop, and there you are. You're strapped in.
If you were buckled up before, now it's time to grab the oh shit bar.
Oh shit!
This is intense. What?
Okay, so this segment, it's called rapid fire questions. All right, no thinking. I just want you to feel it.
No.
Answer from the heart. From the heart. It's real quick. And so Bear over there, he's going to tally up your score. You are graded here. And at the very end, he will give you your results.
Yep.
Okay, are you ready?
Not really, but let's go.
Okay. Pizza or tacos?
Tacos.
Blink-182 or Green Day?
Blink-182.
Travel or stay inside?
Travel.
Introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Favorite shade of red?
Dark red.
Dark red. That's good. That's good.
You already answered this one. Ice cream or frozen yogurt?
Frozen yogurt.
All
There you
right.
go. That was it. You did it. You made it through.
Woo! I kind of struggled on the shade of red.
Honestly, everyone does. And so, like, I grade you based on how quick you answer that specific question. Like, I really do. Like, if you like, we've had a couple of people who took way too long on it. It's like, just pick a shade of red. They're like, what does that even mean? I'm like, well,
what is a shade of red? I'm literally just waiting for one person to just write out the gate magenta. Like,
just all right. Blue. Blue's my favorite shade of red.
Blue.
Favorite shade of red. Orange. Like, it kind of works.
It kind of is.
Okay, well, that all said, I think I have the final tally of the score here. And all I got to say is, next thing you do, make sure you check your closet. Like, just, I don't even care what it is. If you're writing music, just check your closet, because there's a good chance Pat might be there.
I won't be. I promise.
Just imagine Pat's head just like peeking out, just what you doing over there? And that's it. Congratulations, you did it.
Cool.
That was it. That was your grade.
I don't know why you always try to scare people with me.
Shade of red question.
I think it's probably one of my favorite things I came up with because it is quite the stumper,
dude. It's so funny. I always wait for that question because like everyone gets hung up over it.
I'm gonna say you missed the opportunity to ask what's my favorite shade of green.
Oh,
did we miss an opportunity, or did we see it and completely ignore it on purpose?
We saw it and we're like, no. Maybe this time we should do favorite shade of green.
Right? Like, and every other guest we've had on the show, like, just doesn't get to pick, and you're somehow special? Jeez.
I wrote a whole song about it.
It's true. Right? Like, we don't hear anybody go, I'm red, da-boo-dee-da. That was stupid, and I acknowledge that, Pat. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, this has been Where Did All My Friends...
Oh, right. Well, I mean, that said, Faith, with everything going on, we really, really appreciate you taking the time and just kind of being here, joining with us on this podcast. With all that said, plug your band, plug your stuff, plug your promotion. Do what's next for you guys?
Where can we find you?
Where can we find you on social media? Like, all of it. Just plug it. Go.
Okay, so TikTok is Faith Alicia. Sorry, it's different than everything else. Everything else is Pennyboard Band. That's where you can find me.
You are on TikTok as Pennyboard Band as well. It's just not your big one.
I just don't use it anymore because the Faith Alicia one was doing so well. So I was like, I'll just put everything on here.
Yep.
So that's just how the marketing game works.
I did my research. I saw, and I was like, oh, hey, you are there. Mm-hmm. Okay, keep going. Sorry, I interrupted.
If you're in Texas, I have a lot of really cool shows coming up. They're not announced yet, but stay tuned. Lots of new music in the works. A lot of really cool TikTok collabs coming up. So just stay tuned. Yeah. It's going to be an exciting rest of the year.
All right. Well, we're really glad that you... Yeah, likewise. And we're really glad that you came on the podcast. We know you're busy, and we really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. I've been wanting to be on this podcast, honestly. So
on this podcast,
I was really excited when you asked me.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, Pat, you found a good one. Good job.
I did it.
I did it. That's
Dad.
Awesome. Well, this has been Where Did All My Friends Go? I'm Bear with a brighter skies. Wait.
I'm Patrick with. Oh, guys. I'm Patrick with Cities Never Sleep, and this has been an unsigned pop punk product.
Yeah, cool. We'll see you next episode.
Bye.